Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow, and in today's episode, we're going to cover a special type of fanzine known as the Anime Reference Guides. I'd like to remind you to go down below and click like and click subscribe. And if you like, you can put a little comment about your experience with this, because that always helps the YouTube algorithm. And again, if you want to support me financially, I do have the super thanks button down below, as well as the links for the PayPal and Patreon. We have special episodes and that kind of stuff for the subscribers and the donators to this channel. And again, there's a link below which has all the database, which all the episodes of the History of Fan Anime, as well as the bonus episodes for the subscribers. So again, check that link out below. It really would help greatly. Thank you. In the early days, we didn't have things like the internet and Windows, even for that matter. So if we needed any information about anime and whatnot, you'd have to have it in print somehow, or have it available on paper, so that when people come to your meetings or your conventions, you then can give them something that they can read, brush up on, or use that to follow the anime while they watch the anime. Kind of like a summary sheet or something to tell them what's going on. And so we're going to go through a couple of different things that they have built for this particular purpose. And it gives you an idea of some of the animes and that kind of stuff that came out during this time and was popular with the different fans and that kind of stuff who are interested in anime at this time. All right? So, without further delay, let's begin. Okay, so we'll start with the first book, which is this one here. It's called the Animes and I presents the Ultimate Synopsis Book. Okay, and it has a nice picture of Extra 1 on the front. And of course, it's Thinking Animes and I, which is sort of the same name that I've used for my store. Opening theme song for Double Zeta Gundam. Like all synopsis books, you can has the information on how you can order it from the their site. And basically, these synopsis guides basically has a sort of collection of sort of quick synopsises, summaries of the various different sort of animes that were sort of available that you may be watching at this particular time. So you can just see, so it's quickly going down the list here. 2001: Space Fantasy, Space Odyssey. The Audio Galaxy Express, I City or Love City, Akira, Drama Stars, Angel's Egg, 88, Votems. There's the Aberdeen Yamato, which is one of the Yamato movies. Babystock, and this goes along the list, and it goes all the way down to the various different animes as well, down to Yurusei Yatsura, Touch, Yotoden, all the various Project Eikos and that kind of stuff. And basically, it starts with going through all the various different parts, different chapters. Going through where the particular the information is from. So this, for example, for Love City or I City, was reprinted from the Bacon Japanese Animation Guide from 1988. It was written by Torrance Smith, i.e. of Eclipse, and Miko Graham, submitted by Brian Henderson. Again, I've dealt with Brian Henderson in my mails as well through the CFO. So you can go through this. Akira. A lot of stuff here is been reprinted from the Bay Group Bulletin from 1988. Okay. And just going through, sometimes they have some nice pictures. Some of them are really rough, like computers print out things like this, for example. Again, here he goes. This is Area 88 summaries reprinted from the CFOOD or Seafood Platter, number 14, which was originally done by Jeff Wong, and then again it was submitted by Brian Henderson. And just going through all the different sort of things. Again, this Babystock, which has been printed out of the CFO LA Bolton. So again, a lot of this stuff is compiled out of different sort of animation, the sources, newsletters, and that kind of stuff. And it's all been put together into a nice little, compact, sort of book I guess it's also the pack. This thing's almost 200 pages. Going through, Rumic World, Laughing Target, Madox 01. So, it has, fairly good description of whatever, including spoilers and that kind of stuff. Little bit of dialogue if needed, right? And goes through, and basically allows you to go through, read it. Whether it's reading it, while you're watching anime, or maybe you read it beforehand just to kind of get a little brief of it. Again, spoilers and stuff, in point. So here's, for example, Orange Road. I'll back up a little bit here. Okay. Orange Road, let's return to that gate. So that's, the movie for the Orange Road. Okay. So, again, it was reprinted from the Anime Opus in 1989. And it's submitted by Brian Henderson. Again, we had just, in 1989 is when we first did the first fan sub for Orange Road. So again, we didn't get to the movie yet. So again, if you wanted to watch the Orange Road movie, which just came out, if you wanted to watch that and try to understand what's going on, this was your only option, right? Is to go through, read a synopsis like that, which will kind of explain it to you. Not a lot of dialogue, but a little bit. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and so it'll go through and explain to you what is going on, and then then you can go watch it in straight Japanese to figure out exactly how this fits in, and hopefully with the understanding of what you read here, you can then go through it and find out what the movie was actually about. Again, when we finished Orange Road at the end of this year and into 1990 and 91, we finally got the movie out, and then basically rendered this, well, not useless, but again, it now allows you to watch the anime without actually having to flip through a book like this. So again, really nice sort of book that's complete. And again, so it's called Anime Zai, the Ultimate Synopsis Book. Okay. Now the next one I've got is this one here. It's called you get this from the San Diego Comic-Con in 1990, and this is one of the first sort of conventions that actually had an anime track. Like the group ran an anime room at the Comic-Con for just to feature anime, right? And again, the coordinator is a John Davenport, which I did actually have a few different letters from. The editor-in-chief is Lee Oeth, and the assistant editor is William Noting. So again, I did have some interaction with John when we was talking with the CFO and whatnot. Okay, and as you see, San Diego Comic-Con, and so what it does is it ranges so in this particular thing, August the 2nd. Okay. And it has, what they're going to show at all the different places. So at the convention center, they're going to be showing things like Captain Harlock, Zillion, Robotech, Ranma, Dragon Century, Bubble Crisis, Urusei Yatsura, and then in the evening, at the Hall of the Inn, they're going to be showing starting at 6 o'clock, all the way even past midnight. They've got Project Echo, Appleseed, Urusei Yatsura, Yoma, Zeraheimer, let's see, Crying Freeman, Fist and North Star. And then, again, the convention center, Hall of the Inn. So, basically, there's going to be like a long track of anime going on that you could watch during the convention. And so, with this, they have descriptions for you. Okay, so these description synopsises and that kind of stuff have been provided for by different people, and it shows you different times. So that way, when you get there, and there's again no translation, or no subtitles or no dub, right? You gotta kind of have to read this, beforehand. It's like kind of like doing your homework, if you will, and then you can find out what's going on. What's going on beforehand, and then when you sit down for example, at Thursday at 10:55, you'll understand what Project Zeraheimer is about. You'll know the character names, and some of the interactions that are going on. So as it's playing, you can then say, okay, I see. This is the, what's going on and who's going on. So, for example, Act 1, the teenager runs through a dark alley. He pursues his pursuers, overtake and wrestle him to the ground. A pretty girl stands in front of him, and says, "Don't resist, Misato." So all of a sudden you go, "Oh, okay, I get it. His name is Misato." The girls, so this is how anime fans at this particular time, had to deal with things, right? And so this sort of gives you an idea of, different sort of artwork and that stuff that people had to do. Again, because there was very lack of that. So this is what we had together. So again, different art credits and that kind of stuff, and you can see even some very famous people like Don Yi. He's featured in the Art of Robotech. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us anymore. But I mean, different people, Leah Hernandez from again from the CFO and whatnot. So again, a lot of these different again famous people and people that had to have submit pictures and that kind of stuff in order to make these things work, because again the artwork wasn't available for a lot of these things. So that's that one. Okay. In the same light, we have this one, which is a nice big double flip for 5-star stories. Okay. And this is the anime guide for Capricorn 1991. Okay. And again, this is like the other convention. It tells you, okay, on these are the particular timeline. Okay, listing on what the schedule is for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What times all these movies are going to be, and then they basically will run this program according to this. These ones are the things that they have actual subtitles and that kind of stuff for. Okay, and they wrote it under the Japanese impaired video, which is kind of funny. So again, little even shorter summaries, because you don't really need too much on them, because it's the overview of the subtitled animes. These animes are already subtitled, so these are the ones we still had to struggle with. Okay, so again, we have lots of different things. Again, same thing when you go through them. Big huge announcement presented with subtitles. Vampire D. So this at this this time was a really, really big deal, because 1991, a lot of companies have not released any anime right now. I mean, they're just starting to, right? And things like Vampire D, may have been out in dubbed. I'm not sure, because that is one of the really early streamlined productions. But then of course the dub probably would have been pretty horrible. So to finally get it in subtitle, a lot of people would be interested in that kind of stuff. So again, you can just quickly flip through it really quickly here, and you can see different pictures and fairly big detailed descriptions upon all the different sort of animes and that kind of stuff that they were going to play throughout the the convention day. And then this also gives you an indication of what other animes that everyone was going after. So the Record of the Lotus Wars, really big one at this particular time. Okay, Pat Labor was just coming out, so at 1991, we were still probably just finishing off Maison Akaku and just about to start Pat Labor. So again, we were going to get on that relatively quickly at this particular time. Soul Bianco was really popular, So again, when you went to the convention, you got these kind of books to help you go and navigate through the anime that they were going to play, at the convention at that time. Again, modern day, we have don't have viewing rooms, because everyone gets their anime on mostly at online and that kind of stuff. So they don't need to do that. Okay. So after they realized that this is really a popular thing, and a lot of people like this kind of idea, they finally started producing it, on print and to sell. So this is the one for AnimeCon 91. Okay. And this is sort of a nicer, sort of finished sort of guide. So this is produced by the CFO Cal Animage, okay, in Berkeley. Editor-in-Chief Mike Tatsugawa. So again, he would later on make Anime Expo and everything like that. Okay, and you see various different names. Andy Kim. See, is a very recognizable name. The foreign liaison is Torrin Smith. Again, if you think of all the things from the Dirty Pair, the Dominion, that kind of stuff as well. Okay. Cal Animage artwork by Miki Moto. So you got a famous artist to do artwork and that kind of stuff. And again, same thing, big long list of different animes and that kind of stuff that they've got summaries and stuff for. and then basically if you go through, yeah, you can see it's very, very quick descriptions and that kind of stuff of all the various different sort of animes that they were going to do. They left blank pages so that these particular guests that were going to show up for AnimeCon, you could have them sign or draw pictures and that kind of stuff for that. So you can do that. It's really marketing type of thing. So again, so you just quickly see what sort of animes that they featured and had available for you. Okay. And again, a big ad for Nikaki Animart just outside in San Jose. We used to go, as part of our road trip, always drop by them. Kyoko was very nice for, bringing in stuff for that. That's a really nice place to go to. Okay, and then of course, Cal Animage. This is the, aim for the top, the Mikimoto drawing picture. Okay, and again, has different chapters and their contact information. Again, Mike Tatsugawa there, and so again, this is the way how you basically, if you wanted to get information or you want to join a club or whatever to get anime, here you go. Here's your addresses that you can send your information to. Email addresses. Again, 1991, so before Windows 95. So if in the world of using the internet without a mouse, this is where you can get information. Again, that was very, very important at this particular time. Okay, and the last one we go over is this one here. This one is the Anime Reference Guide, Volume 3, Number 1. This one was done in 1995, I do believe. Okay. And again, this is where they published the information in order to get commercialization of things that you would normally use at conventions and that kind of stuff. So this anime reference guide is designed for the as the anime reference guide for 95, or for AX 95, Anime Expo 95. And again, the main executive for this person is Albert Wong. And he has put a little weird, interesting comment here. The thanks to John Cheng of the Jump Digital Services, the Safeway Meat Department. I don't know what the hell they can get from there, except all the meat that they need, I guess. And the Cirrus Logic for Pentium system used for the production of this reference guide. If you can remember, again, 1995. So the new introduction of Windows 95, right? So this is the shall we say, the very, very cutting edge or the new edge of actually using a computer to put, desktop publishing services and that kind of stuff on there. So again, very, very early kind of work for that, right? Again, Mike Tatsugawa also showing up there, his name there, again, as you know, for Expo. Yeah. So again, so a list of all the various different animes that they're going to work on. Again, notice a smaller list now, okay? More refined. Titles that come on right away is again Pally to the movie, Zia Gundam, Tao Zazo, which is You're Under Arrest. Lots of Pioneer titles, obviously, as you may notice, because they're a big sponsor. So again, summaries and that kind of that. More description. Okay, very, very, very nice published sort of work. Again, the same concept. Again, this is to help people get into the animes that they're going to be presenting at the convention, so you have a more clear picture of stuff like that. So there's lots and lots of summaries on Mizunakaku, even down to dialogue. I learned that Iku got 92 on her English test. Oh, he sounded depressed. Yes, you should have told me before. Please take good care of her. Godai agrees, right? So things like that. They actually start putting actual more dialogue on. So a little more description. And again, this is because if you think of 95, this has already been 4 years since we've actually put the subtitles for this. So definitely the dialogue's out there. It wouldn't be too difficult to extract the information from that, and to put this into this particular type of book. So you can just see lots of information on that kind of stuff. Oops. Okay. Places that sells anime cells and that kind of stuff, and then of course blank pages to put autographs and that kind of stuff. Okay, and then you can see at the bottom, see all the various different titles, and basically a big sponsor from Anime Expo 95. Okay, So this is how they've been basically, trying to market up these stories called anime reference guides. Hope you found that kind of interesting, and this gives you an indication of how fans had to survive and how to watch their anime and enjoy this medium without the advantage of having things like translations and that kind of stuff, subtitles, dubs, and that kind of stuff available. Because again, this is at a time where Windows wasn't even invented, the internet wasn't invented. Translated anime wasn't invented. Okay, so it was really kind of a tough time to be an anime fan, especially if you needed to know, the English in order to watch them. Because again, being straight Japanese with no assistance in any way, this is the way that we had to survive. All right, so hopefully you find that really interesting. So until next time, I will see you again.